Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Zach here with Carbon Collective, and we are sending out newsletter number 2. Woo! And we have 4 really good articles that I want to share with you today. The first 2 are ones that we wrote. They are about new perspectives on kind of your life in climate and also your money in climate. And then the last 2 are just 2 articles of climate inspiration news that is being implemented right now that we found really inspiring and hopeful. We will include a video digest like this of each of our newsletters. We find it really helpful. It's a chance for us to talk directly to you, and it's also a way for you to quickly see, is there anything in here that you want to click in and read more of? So the first article this week is one that we actually posted on Medium. And we did it because when we started looking at climate change on Medium, like the top article is this one. Quit obsessing about climate change. What you do or don't do no longer matters. We're like, what? Or this one, like climate change activists are lying to you. And what's so frustrating about this is that they are just making this really false and kind of lazy logic leap. They're basically saying that corporations are to blame for climate change, which, it's hard to disagree with that, sure. Therefore, you neither can nor should do anything about it. And that's just wrong. Corporations are to blame, but that has no relationship with your impact to do anything about it. What's frustrating about this and also illuminating is that there's actual math to prove this. There are studies that your actions have a ripple effect in your network, and there are studies that it is your personal actions that drive change in the industrial supply chain. So it kind of goes back to that old proverb of, if not me, then who is going to do this? And this is especially true for those of us who are on kind of the vanguard of taking climate actions, who we do it before maybe it's fully financially a great decision to make, but we're doing it for ethical reasons, or it's kind of socially acceptable. We push that and we make these things financially, economically, socially, psychologically acceptable for everyone to follow behind. And so kind of succumbing to that notion that you can't do anything is not just wrong, but it's really dangerous. You can check out all of our logic and everything and all of the numbers in the article that is linked below. Okay, article number 2. So as we built Carbon Collective, we went and reviewed pretty much every single climate-friendly mutual fund, ETF, anything out there. We see it as part of our jobs to really look under the hood because we were making a decision of do we want to include this or not? So Aspiration is a bank that is focused on climate change. We have mixed feelings about it, but they have a mutual fund that you can buy that is called their Redwood Fund. And it's really beautifully marketed. It says all the right things. So we're like, okay, great. This looks like it could be a really good fit. Let's dig under the hood. So we went and looked up their latest SEC filings, which was back in March, and looked at all the companies. The first 3 companies, the ones that are the largest in the fund are Visa, a financial services company, and Reynolds. This is the company that makes Solo cups and tinfoil. Where is the actual impact here? These are companies that are less bad. When you continue scrolling through, there is actually a fossil fuel company in here. Berkshire Hathaway owns multiple fossil fuel companies in it. And so this, again, left us pretty frustrated. Here's a company that is saying all the right things and is trying to get people to put their money in the right places. And at best, it's taking eager money to have impact off of the table. And at worst, for people like us who dig under the hood, it can make you disillusioned and feel kind of apathetic, that this is just all kind of bullshit and that your money doesn't actually matter where it's invested. And that's just false. If you're in Redwood, you might want to reconsider. Okay, article number 3. So there is a stadium in Oregon that recently switched to all renewable energy. And it's not a type of renewable energy that we think about normally. That's it's not solar, it's not wind. They're using water pressure. Utilities will pump water uphill to sit in a cistern, and then it will flow back down to be used. And when it flows back down, it's actually at really high pressure. Think of a fire hydrant. And so that's way too much pressure to come out of your faucet or into your washing machine. It would just be very bad things. What all of our homes and buildings have are these things called pressure control valves. And basically they take all of that energy that was used to get it uphill, and they use a lot of friction to get the pressure way down to a level where it's going to come out at a nice pace. And so that's just straight up wasted energy. That's friction that's not being used for anything. And so this company, In Pipe Energy, they create a system where they can bypass the existing pressure control valve and harvest that energy. And so basically what that means is this stadium is, and it's a 7,000 person stadium, is being fully powered off of renewable energy, and one that's not even intermittent like solar or wind. This can go all the time. So is this going to solve climate change alone? Like, no. But solving climate change is going to involve us picking every low-hanging fruit solution, and especially the ones where there's room for creativity of this is just something that is going to waste when we put it to use, and it is financially viable. So super, super cool. Okay, article number 4. One of the biggest problems of climate change is being solved. It's like actually, it's not shovel ready, it is built. The steel industry is responsible for almost 1/10 of our global carbon footprint. 1/10. Airlines are responsible for 2%, so 1/50th of it. Steel is huge, and it's growing. Urbanization, modernization, these are all happening. They all require a lot of steel. And the problem with steel is that you can't just hook up a windmill to a steel mill. Based upon how steel was originally produced, think Andrew Carnegie back in the day, you need coal. You actually take iron, and coal is an important part of the actual process of milling steel. People have been trying to figure this out for a long time, and a plant in Sweden has. It is up and running, and it is producing zero carbon steel. They use a buttload of renewable energy and then also green hydrogen in order to create it. And so this is just so exciting in that it is not something that's in the lab. It's not a theoretical, oh, what if we could do this? It's no, this is real. It is being backed by major companies, and this is going to be leading the transition. And we can see that as renewable energy prices fall, and especially as more of the world embraces things like a carbon tax, more and more companies will just have a financial incentive to switch over to exactly this. It is real, and it is here. And over the next decade, we should see a lot of movement. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to have 4 more articles for you next week, and James is going to be the one to lead you through them. Have a good week.